and you can see that Horang is trying to find the next spot that the mutas are attacking, because he's hanging around the main with his dragoons trying to intercept the mutas if they should come back. But there's a fourth base being built at the 12 o'clock position for Modesty, so he is keeping up that macro. He finds this prospective third base from Horang at the 6 o'clock position, but Horang has lost so many probes that it might be a bit longer before he can get that built and running. But okay, the dragoons trying to attack the mutas again. I think that there were more mutas put back in that flock. I think there were a smaller amount of mutas earlier, so I think he is resupplying the mutas in this game and getting the hydras up at the same time. And the macro and everything else you have to keep track of in this freaking game. It requires so much freaking APM. But yeah, look at this. More and more mutas being put in this clump. So he's actually banking a lot on mutas. Mutas are very expensive, and you can't lose them to Archon Splash like that and expect to stay in the game. But there's another storm from one of the High Templar. I'm surprised that there are any High Templar left with this many mutas. You'd think he would be going in and sniping every single one of them. But so far, I think he's only sniped one High Templar that I've seen. Got close to sniping a second, but didn't manage to do that. Now Modesty, look at this hefty ground army from Modesty. He could just do a huge attack at the front and it would probably be successful, or at least just keep Horang from taking that third base. I think that's mostly going to be Modesty's plan. Keep the third base from happening, and he's already flooding down huge amount of troops. But he is going to have to do a bit of storm dodging, of course. If he comes in here, here come the Zealots being pushed up front for Horang. He's coming in with all of his High Templar, going to try to storm on top of these Hydras. Still a lot more Hydras left, even after all these crippling storms. But some more storms coming in for the High Templar, and the High Templar going to be the deciding factor in this battle, I think. Yes, forcing the rest of the Hydras back. There are some more mutas in play I see behind that natural expansion for Horang. Going to try to do a little bit more of harassment, I think. Yeah, he's done plenty of muta harassment in this game. This has been a very harassment-focused game from Modesty. Another storm from Horang, just trying to get rid of those freaking mutas. A couple Archons should be able to protect this base. But as you saw earlier, Modesty was just microing on top of that ridge to take out the Archons. So he could definitely do that again. He does have the presence of mind. But some more lurkers, some lurkers coming out now to supplement this all Hydra army, all Hydra ground army. Fourth base is up at the 12 o'clock position. That is mining and going for Modesty. And now he's just going to pressure this front even more. He's got to keep that third base from coming down for Horang. He's done a lot of harassment in this game, plenty of harassment, but just got to keep that third base from happening and he'll have the game basically. Just trying to surround with the lurkers. Lurkers getting taken down with the observer out front. Nice storm from Horang. It gets rid of the huge clumping of Hydras, but here comes some reinforcement Hydras pushing back the Dragoons. Lots and lots of Hydras coming in, and the mutas as well being a factor at the front. Mostly getting killed by the cannons though, I saw. And another attack being quelled by Horang. Nicely done, Horang. He's actually keeping Modesty back for now. But Modesty is going to be so powerful off of these four bases that I don't think that Horang will be able to last for long if he can't protect his third base. Third base, I think, is going to be critical for Horang. Gotta protect that against all odds, because here come more and more reinforcements flooding in for Modesty, killing most of the Zealots that are out front to get the Archon splash damage a bit. Another nice storm from Horang. He's doing a good job of defending basically just with storms. If he hadn't gotten the storms that he did, he definitely wouldn't have survived even the first attack. But okay, Modesty's base, you can see him focused on getting as many troops as he can down to this 6 o'clock position. He has to take out the 6 o'clock soon. He's on 4, sitting pretty on 4 bases, gone basically unharassed. I don't think that Horang has been able to break out from anything. He's had to play a completely defensive game so far, and is still playing defensive, protecting that third base that's down at the 6 o'clock. Okay, some more Hydras moving into position. And I see a lot of troops out for Modesty. That was a kind of a vicious storm, took down 4 Hydras. But Modesty's got to group everything together for another big attack. And it seems that he's getting most of his troops together. I'm seeing all the orange blobs in the middle of the map. Trying to see if they're all moving down to the 6 o'clock. It seems that they are. Some lurkers in as well for Modesty, getting closer to that 6 o'clock, but still not managing to break through Horang2's defenses. Yet, and Horang2 has managed to... I saw the Zealots up there earlier, but I had no idea that they had gone completely unattacked at that 12 o'clock. They took down the hatchery. So Modesty wasn't even able to get up there with any troops to protect his 12 o'clock. So he just lost his 4th base. And there's Horang2 doing a bit of extra storming on top of the lurkers and the hydras, fending them back again from that 6 o'clock. So far he's done a good job defending. He's defended the 6 o'clock, he has it up and mining. Not to mention he went out with just a small group of zealots and destroyed that 12 o'clock. So Modesty, I guess he just didn't commit enough troops to attacking... to defending himself up at that 12 o'clock, because he's having to rebuild that hatchery. I see him rebuilding it right now at the 12 o'clock, getting the 4th base up and mining. But yeah, that's definitely a big blow to his economy. Zerg player off of 4 bases is awfully strong, but if you lose the 1 like that, it just takes a lot more time to roll back into a strong economy. Yeah, he should be working on the 5th base by now, but by losing that 4th as he did, it's going to take longer to do that. But so Horang2's 3rd base up, mining, and he still has a pretty large amount of troops out in the map. You see he has the Archons, you got the High Templar, lots of Dragoons, so it has just the right unit composition to deal with what Modesty has. And Horang2 is actually getting... yeah, he's actually moving out into the middle of the map a bit more confident now that he's protected that base. He has a stronger economy. He won't have to play as defensive as he was earlier in the game. There comes that could be an Overlord with some lurkers in it or something like that. So the Overlord down at this base, possibly just for the scouting for these mutas, to get a bit more harassment with these mutas. I think that Overlord was just for scouting purposes. But the cannon's being rebuilt at that 6 o'clock. Some more storm right on top of the mutas. Kills most of them, gets the rest down to red. So the mutas aren't going to be much more of a threat for Horang2 in this game. He's going to have to deal with that ground army, which is still replenishing for Modesty. He's got the 4th base back up, probably has it mining at the moment, and now he's on the defensive, but got most of his troops outside that natural. And okay, Horang2's moving out into the middle of the map a bit more, looking for troops he can kill, trying to find these mutas, gets another splash with the Archon on the mutas. Muta's going to try to snipe the High Templar, I think. Snipes one High... Whoa! Big Archon splash. Kills the rest of the mutas. So the muta's gone, but not before sniping one High Templar. That could definitely help out in this attack, because now Horang2 is confident enough to move up to this 12 o'clock position. He's going to try to take that out again. He's getting into position. The lurkers are definitely going to have to play a big factor in this attack, but with the observers out front, you see a Modesty trying to focus on those observers first. He sniped one, but I don't think he's gotten the other one yet. No, the other observer still surviving at the front. That's another storm from Horang2, so he's just grinded down Modesty's army again. Completely destroyed Modesty's army. I think that some of Modesty's army was down at this 6 o'clock position, yeah, just moving down there with some Hydras, but he definitely could have used those for the defense, because now he's going to lose the 4th base again. Not much he can do to protect that 12 o'clock, so now Horang2 has a big advantage in this game, sitting on 3 bases. Just killed Modesty 4th again for the 2nd time. Yeah, so Horang2 doing great in this game after playing basically just a defensive first part of the game. Now he's on the offensive, loses another High Templar, almost said Hydra. Lost the High Templar to the Hydras. There you go. Okay, some more Zealots coming out of those gateways. Plenty of gateways for Horang2 now to resupply his troops. But he is in kind of full retreat mode and thinking about a 4th base, I think. He had a scouting Zealot down at the 8 o'clock position. Just trying to see what's happening down there, if Modesty had built a 4th base anywhere. Another 4th base after losing that top one. They built it down at the 8 o'clock position, but now some Zealots moving out into the map a bit. Plenty of Archons to deal with the mutas if Modesty should try to commit to mutas again. I don't think he's going to, though. That would be a big investment for not much gain against those Archons. But here comes some more Zealots moving up. Lurkers burrowing right next to that natural expansion, so it should protect it for now. Let's see, plenty of static defense for Modesty. Might have actually overcommitted to static defense a bit at each of his bases, but let's see. He still has the Lurkers. Lurkers got kind of positioned far away from one another. He's not going to be able to protect this fourth base. He's moving up with some Hydras, but I don't see this attack being successful. A successful defense. Oh, look at that. Devastating storms from Horang. And he kills the fourth base again. The 12 o'clock just went down for the third time. God. So that is spelling doom for Modesty's economy. He needs to do something special soon to swing this game back, but I don't see that happening. You can kind of see it on his face, too. Nice long sigh from Modesty, saying, well, and that's not good. Can't find a fourth base anywhere. Can't protect one, that's for sure. But Horang getting closer and closer to locking this game down. Huge amount of troops. Nice unit composition. So really, he could probably just A-move into this place if he does have observers. If he has observers in, he could A-move into this natural expansion. But it seems he might be waiting for an additional observer or two, since he lost one in that big attack earlier that he was doing outside of that natural. Maybe he just wants to make sure that he has enough this time. But okay, almost mined out. Look at Modesty's mining, not much at all. From him, you can tell his unit count 46 over 109, and we got 128 over 180 for Horang. So Horang has many, many more troops, and he's just playing it safe, basically. He's playing a very conservative game at this point, making sure he knows that he can get that fourth base. He's secured another fourth base. Well, another 6 o'clock is what I meant to say there. His fourth. So now that he has his fourth, he's going to feel much more confident in attacking. Another nice storm from Horang. Look at all these High Templar. Yeah, it's going to be more than enough. Storms over one Overlord and kills the one Overlord. This is getting closer and closer. Only a few Lurkers left at this 12 o'clock position to protect it. So needless to say, they are going to explode and pop like water balloons. Blood-filled water balloons. Now I'm thinking of the movie Carrie for some reason. But okay. Horang moving in, and there you go. GG from Modesty. Nice conservative PVZ approach from Horang. So he's going to move on to the winner's game. Modesty going to the loser's match. Let's move on to set 2.